Hello and welcome back to Knife's podcast. It's been a while, but we're excited to be back on your screen. So today we are going to be talking about something that is practically on the lips of everybody as regards the new year 2026. And what is that? It's the issue of goals. But hold on, wait a minute. Now, we're not talking about goals from the regular perspective of setting goals, how not to set goals, what you should do. We are bringing an entirely different perspective to it. And I'm going to be giving you 4 practical ways to set and actualize your goal that will help you in this 2026.
Now, the first thing you must do is evaluation. What happens in this evaluation stage? In evaluation, you're sitting down quietly with yourself. You're trying to track progress of what you have done before, where you are now, and where you want to go. You don't jump processes. You start from one point to the other. So basically, you grab a pen and a notebook or a notepad, whatever it is you want, but you need something you would use to write down. And when you're writing, you're evaluating 4 specific areas of your life. Number 1 being your relationship with God as a believer, which is very important. Number 2 being your finances, because come on, let's be practical. We need money to go about our daily activities and even to serve God better, right? Number 3 being your personal development and leadership skills. We are all called to personal development. God does not support mediocrity, right? So you're called to develop yourself and be an effective leader. And then finally is your academics for those that are still students. Now, first things first is your walk with God. How do you evaluate your walk with God? You discover that, let's say, the previous year, you had difficulties praying or you had difficulties studying the Bible and all of that. What do? You evaluate and say, last year I was maybe giving 15 minutes to the study of the word and 15 minutes to prayer, and it was not effective. Or maybe I was not even praying at all because of time. Maybe I was going off to work or going off to school and I did not pray effectively. What do? You choose a specific time of the day, preferably in the morning, when you sit and talk with God. So 15 minutes, 30 minutes and above. Okay, so you sit down, talk with God during that period. Make it something that is constant. If you need to set an alarm, if you need to set a reminder, do that, so that once that reminder goes off, you know, okay, this is my time of fellowship with God. Now, if you were doing that previously and you're seeking to grow more in the faith, what does it mean? It means you need to extend that time. So if you're doing 15 minutes, do 30 minutes. If you're doing 30 minutes, do 45 minutes. And one thing I want you to understand is, don't put pressure on yourself. Don't jump from 15 minutes, I want to start doing 2 hours, because maybe you heard a man of God somewhere saying you must spend a lot of time with God, right? You take gradual steps from where you were to where you want to be. And you discover that by the time you move from 15 to 30 to 45, you stay in the presence of God, and one day you're like, it's been 2 hours and I've really been with God, right? So that's how you move gradually. So talking about finances, you're sitting down with your bank statement. Go and print the bank statement from all your banks. Get it together. What are you looking out for? You're looking out for, what are the expenses I did that were not profitable? What are the things I wasted money on? And what are the things that I bought that helped my finances? So if you go through it, it's not possible. If you're eating shawarma too much, or there was basically something you were just doing, right? I'm not judging shawarma eaters, but I'm just saying there's basically something that you will find on your bank statement it didn't necessarily add anything to your life. You can practically and obviously do without that thing. So cut that thing off. And then those purchases you made, maybe it was a course you bought and you took, maybe it was a new gadget for your business, it was a new, maybe a product or something. Just there was something you did, something you bought, there was a purchase you made. that made your business to thrive, or your finances, maybe your savings you did, go ahead and do those things. In this new year, when you're evaluating, go ahead and do those things. Keep up to those things. And the things that you did wrongly, take them out. You're definitely going to see progress in your finances. Now, in leadership has a lot to do with personal development. And then when you're talking about personal development, that's where reading of books come into place. Now, I understand that a lot of us come with zeal in this aspect. So it's the beginning of the year and you're planning 12 books. That's one book a month. Or you've been motivated by somebody and you want to do 2 books or 3 books in a month. As good as that is, you must go back to your foundation, which is evaluation. Last year you wrote that you want to read books. Why did you not achieve it? Was it time problem? Was it that you did not see the book? What exactly was the reason for which you did not achieve your book reading plan? Now, keep in mind as well that there are specific books you must read. You will not say you are building up yourself and then all what you're reading is novels. As good as novels are, they would not give you the development you need in life. So you're reading one novel, you're reading one motivational book, you're reading one inspirational book, you're reading one book on finance. All this comes together to give you growth, which is personal development. Because at the end of the day, when you have all this information, when you have all this knowledge you've gathered from books, you discover that when you're interacting with your peers, or even those older or younger than you actually have something to say because you've put something into your brain. Now, when you're talking about your academics, as a student, it's one of the things you must do is know where you are and then where you want to go. If you're a student, maybe you are on a 3rd class or a 2nd class lower, your aim is for a 2nd class upper and a 1st class. So at the moment, where are you? A 2nd class lower? Where do you want to be? A 1st class? What do you have to do to get to that 1st class? Do you need to attend classes more often? Do you need to increase the times you read? Do you even need to change your reading pattern? Because most of the times, it's not even in the time you read, it is how you go about the reading. So if you previously used to read on your own, you can try out group reading. If you previously used to read maybe during the day, you can try out reading in the nights. If you're someone that reads better or understands better through audio, you can go ahead and look for audio books that are related to that your course of study, so that when you're listening to it, you assimilate faster because it's audio. Okay, so basically find out the way your reading works. All this happens in the evaluation stage. Find out how your reading works, know what to do and how to go about it, and you definitely make progress. I've taken down the 4 areas of your life that you must implement. The next thing is, how do you go about it? How do you go about it encompasses structure and resources. Okay, so for structure, I've touched a little bit about it, but let me make it more in depth. For you to achieve anything you want to achieve in life, you must put together a structure around yourself for you to achieve that thing. What do I mean? If you say you want to read your Bible at a particular time, you must set an alarm. You will not do wishful thinking and tell yourself, oh, I will magically wake up by 4 a.m. to read my Bible. It doesn't work that way. You have to set up an alarm. That's part of structure. If you need an accountability partner, someone that will call you up by that time and say, hey, you're supposed to be praying at this time. Find a friend. It might be your peer or a senior friend, just somebody that you know that will be able to hold you accountable. That is structure. Now, you need resources. For you to get to where you want to be, you need resources. These resources comes in there are different types of resources. There's monetary resources, and then there's the hard resource, which is maybe books, and the books fall under audio books, physical books, one thing or the other. If it's a course that you must take, all these things are resources that comes together to help you get to where you want to be. Now, you must put finances in place. Finances means you need money to buy this book that you want to read. You need money to get this course. You need money to upskill. If it's a new skill you have to learn to grow, you need money to register for that skill. And then the next thing is to start. All these are mere wishes if you are just writing them down, if you've not implemented it. So regardless of how prepared you are, most times when we have written a goal and then we are waiting for a particular thing, maybe you took up a goal to start reading and you're waiting till you have all the money to buy all the books you want to read. You now discover, oh, I don't have the money yet, so maybe let me wait till I have the money, I'll start buying the book. You discover that procrastination has come in, and at the end of the day you miss out on the goal that you set, which is what now makes you feel like setting goals are not necessary. So my advice to you today is start from wherever you are and whatever you have. So if it's one book you have, start reading that book. If you don't have money to buy the book hard copy, go ahead and source the soft copy. There's definitely soft copy that will be way cheaper that you can get. If you can't even get the soft copy, you should have friends. There's someone around you can talk to that can be able to help you with what you need. So I'm adding this, that explore human resources too. Don't be an island. Have people around you that know about this your goal, that will serve as accountability partners, that as resource persons to see to it that you would go as far as you want to go. You have started, right? When you work on this your goals for a particular period of time, you come back to evaluate. There's something we call long-term goals and short-term goals. Short-term goals are goals that you have fixed in a space of 3 weeks, a month, 3 months, or 6 months, right? These are weekly goals, quarterly goals, and all of that. What does it help you do? Your whole goal sum total is to be a better person in your finance, in your relationship with people, in leadership, in personal development, in your work with God, right? But then breaking it down into quarterly goals now means that if it's reading, you talked about reading 12 books, right? And that means in 3 months, you should have read 3 books. So at the end of 3 months, if you have not read 3 books, you know, okay, something is missing. You go back to your drawing board. Okay? So if it is personal development, aside from book reading now, if it's a course we're supposed to take, at the end of 3 months, if you discover that for one reason or the other, you have not taken that course, you have not done that thing you're supposed to do, you go back to do it. Now, there's another thing in evaluation. Don't be too hard on yourself. And another thing that's very important is keeping track of what you have done. Most of the times you discover that you have achieved something that was not necessarily spelled out clearly at the beginning when you were writing those goals down. So do well to always keep track of your achievements you have done. You can discover that maybe the initial goal you wrote did not include, let's say, acquiring a particular skill, and the personal development plan you had maybe was basically on books. But now, through the course of the month or through the course of activities, you picked up an additional skill. Write that down too, so that when you're evaluating after 3 months, after 6 months, and then when it's a year, you discover that there were actually steps, bold steps that you took that also helped to your overall well-being at this particular time. Let me end by saying, don't be hard on yourself. Okay? It's those of the people you see smashing their goals currently, they're not out of the blues start smashing their goals. Everyone started from somewhere. Everyone moved from the point where they were not able to concentrate in reading for 30 minutes, and then now they can spend as long as an hour reading. Everyone moved from a place where their relationship with God was not very perfect, and now they have a good relationship with God. Everyone moved from a place where their finances was not as great as they wanted it to be, but now they have good finances, they're able to fund their lifestyle, they're able to support the work of God and all of that. Don't be hard on yourself. Know that, keep in mind that this is a gradual process. If you get it right this month, you get it right in February, you get it right in March, before you know it, by the end of this year, you've made tremendous progress that you'll be very proud of at the end of the year. I want to believe that from the multitude of what you've heard today, you're going to take practical steps and you're going to see to it that at the end of the day, you've made progress, which is the most important thing. If you picked something out from this, if you learned something from all that have been said today, do well to follow us across our social media, like and share this video so that some other person will find it helpful. Thank you very much.